Hey guys, I'm Ashley from Chip Builds, and today we're going to look at this Color Pour Resin that I got from Joann Fabrics store. It looks like it's supposed to be a relatively simple thing to use. They just say, measure equal parts, combine it with some kind of glitter or whatever, And so they're really marketing this as just a really simple, easy DIY thing to do. And I know this company has made color pours for different paints, for a lot of the dirty pour kind of paintings that you see on like canvases and wood and stuff. So I picked this up and I thought we could give it a try. So let's check it out. Okay, so one thing I really like about this already is the packaging. It looks really nice and clean. And let's see what we get in here. Alright, so we get part A of the resin, and then we get part B. Well, I call it part A and part B, but one is the resin and one is the hardener. They have different color labels and different color caps. That way, hopefully you shouldn't get them mixed up. But let's see what the instruction says. It says, basic instructions. Measure equal amounts by volume, combine sides, resin, and resin hardener, and mix thoroughly for 4 to 5 minutes. Pour slowly to avoid bubbles. So that's one thing we got to make sure we do is pour nice and slow, because we're not going to put this in a pressure pot or anything. So we'll do a slow pour, and then we'll use like a heat gun or whatever to get rid of some of the bubbles in whatever we make. It says the working time is about 30 to 40 minutes, and it will cure in 24 to 48 hours. That's kind of a long time, but most standard resins has that same kind of dry time. I use a lot of Alumilite resin in the different pen blanks that I make, and that cures in about 2 hours, but you do have to use a pressure pot, and you only have about 7 minutes of working time. So it will be nice for this that we have about 30 to 40 minutes to work with. So we got that. I also picked up this bracelet mold that they had at Joann. I got some different glitter. This says geode. This is geode, and this said something else on the website. I think one was galaxy and one was geode. Not sure which is which. I picked up some of the dyes that you can get with it. Now online, these bottles looked 4 times the size, so that was kind of disappointing. And then I got this pack called Cool Colors, and I got white. So this is the 8-ounce resin. You could either get 4 ounces, 8 ounces, or like 64 ounces. I really wish there's a 16-ounce option or a 32 option from the store, because I would have liked to probably get the 16-ounce, but I decided to go with the 8 ounces just so that we can have more room to play. Alright, so let's jump in. So one thing to keep in mind when working with resin is safety. So definitely wear protective gloves, because if resin gets on your skin, it can really irritate it and kind of burn it. If you have sensitive skin like me, that's not fun, and it just lasts for a long time, and it's super annoying. Another thing is resin can give off toxic fumes that can make you feel lightheaded and stuff. So if that does affect you, or it's probably just a good idea in general, is to make sure that you have some kind of mask that you can wear that will filter that out, and just to really keep you safe, because ultimately we want to have fun and we want to do things safely, just that way we don't get sick and we continue on crafting and making and whatnot. So the main thing we're going to focus on with this project and this resin is using this bracelet mold that I got from Joann. Kind of went with the whole package, same brand, so we'll focus on that. If we have any excess resin, we'll either put it in these coaster molds I have, or we'll put this in one of my 3D printed pen blanks. So we'll see what the best option is and how it goes. Alright, so I'm definitely going to pull up my sleeves. I don't want to get any resin on there. I like this sweater. And another tip, maybe don't wear nice clothes when you're doing this. Definitely wear your old shirt that you don't care about, or sweater, because it's cold. Another thing is make sure you have some kind of protective surface down on your workbench. I do have a silicone mat underneath, but there's other stuff under there, and so I didn't want to get this other stuff dirty, so I put just some shop paper towels down just to make sure everything's okay. Alright, so we have this clear thing that we're going to fill with resin, equal parts. So this is the hardener with our black cap. I want to make sure I separate these so I don't mix them up. Put this out of the way. Okay, so let's get with this part A, the resin. Okay. Oh, this is thick. Alright, we're gonna do 4 ounces of each. So that's basically half of the bottle. That is way more than half the bottle. Oh, so something's lying. Either this is more than 4 ounces, even though the mark says 4 ounces. Oh well, nothing we can do about that. As long as it's equal. we're good, and let's hope this doesn't totally fail. All right, let's get up to 8 ounces now. I'm gonna put just a smidgen more of A. Oh, that was a lot. Just to make sure. All right, I'm gonna make sure I put these caps back on. Okay. So it's hard to see, but we have 8 ounces here. Now I'm gonna take my silicone spatula and I'm gonna stir this for 4 to 5 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 4.5 minutes.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
Dang, this is thick. So so during this, because this is a thicker epoxy resin and we're not using the pressure pot, I'm definitely gonna stir slower. Stirring slower is gonna get less bubbles, and that's what we want. We want to have no bubbles in our piece, our finished piece. Make sure you scrape the sides and the spatula, that way you're just getting everything. And what I like to do is I like to go clockwise for a little bit. I can't really smell anything though, so that's good. And then once I do that, then I'll go counterclockwise. So just make sure you're really getting everything. Definitely scrape the bottom too. Just make sure it's all nice and mixed. Put that to the side. I have this other cup here. I'm gonna pour some into it. You know what, and as resin gets hot, or when resin cures, it starts to get hot. So you have 30 to 40 minutes, which should be plenty of time for most people. But if you do feel it starting to get really hot in your hand, just know that means it's starting to kick, and it's really starting to get going. Let's do like a galaxy theme for the bracelet. So we're gonna take one of these. Take this black, kind of sparkly glitter. I'm gonna put a little bit in there. Oh, that's kind of a lot. Oops. But I think that would be cool. We'll do some of these blues. Kind of hopefully replicate stars. Do some whites. Get that Milky Way in there. Oh, way too much. You know what would really help is if you use these little baby spoons. That would be great. I should really listen to myself. Oh, those are big chunks. Okay, so we got those. So let's just stir this up. See what we get. So when you're putting additives into resin like this, you gotta really make sure it's nice and mixed, because you don't want any clumps in there, right? And this resin is already so sticky. Well, it's so thick too. Okay, so that looks kind of interesting. Kind of looks like, I don't know if you can really see it. But let's add some color. Let's do this dark blue. It says shake well. I think that's thoroughly shaked. Pop some in there. Or not. Oh, you gotta cut it. Are you for real? Come on, people. Okay, put some of that in there. Let's see. How does this look now? Not really getting the galaxy look. I mean, it looks cool. Let's get some white in there too. Oh, I forgot, I gotta cut these tops off. Yeah, I mean, so the dyes were kind of expensive, I felt like, for the price. So I might just, ooh, and actually that white dye smells really bad. I do not like that color whatsoever. Let's add some more. Let's add some more of this stuff. Whoa, that was a lot too. I gotta remember that these come out quick. It's probably gonna be way too much stuff compared to the resin as well. Let's see. Yeah, you can't even. Hey, you know what? That kind of reminds me of Sully though, from Monsters Inc. So we'll go with that. All right, let's get our bracelet mold. Ooh, how am I gonna do this? Tap the sides a little bit just to bring any of the air bubbles that are trapped at the bottom, bring them to the top so we can pop them with the glue gun. Not the glue gun, what am I talking about with the heat gun? But okay, let's work on this other one now. Actually, with this, I want to try some mica powders. I got some of this Pearl X mica powder. We'll do this on this one. Put in, drop like that. Looks good. Then we'll take some white powder. Then we'll drop some white in there too. Got our powder in there, so let's mix this up. This looks like hot chocolate. And so with the mica powder, you cannot add too much. Honestly, it's always gonna make it look really cool. Just gonna make sure you mix it really well. Like I said, make sure you're scraping the sides, getting everything going. Alright guys, it's been 48 hours since we've casted these things. I came back after 24 hours and it's still a little bit tacky because it's been cold and raining here in California. So I just decided to give it an extra day just to give it its best chance of, you know, wowing me in this review. Alright, so let's check out our bronze brown, just nice, really cool looking coaster looks. So I'm just peeling around the edges so that will come out easier. And let's see. Whoa, that's pretty crazy. So there's a couple, I should have cleaned the mold out better before I cast this. So there's like a little mark that was left over from the last time I casted this. But man, I really like how that looks. This definitely looks like it was kind of made out of coffee or something. I'm not sure what kind of happened right here. It could be because I didn't really mix it super properly, but the edges look nice and crisp. It's not bending. You can hear, you know, it's nice and hard and solid. Makes some noise. So that one looks really cool. So now let's look at this Sully one that I like to call it. Reminds me of Sully from Monsters Inc. So this one, because the glitter is all at the top here, kind of has a bit of a rougher texture. I mean, it's still smooth, but you definitely can feel the glitter. So I'll do the same thing. Just peel this back. And oh my gosh, that looks super cool with all the glitter. I love it. This is definitely Sully for sure. Same thing, nice rock solid hard. Nice crisp corners again. And oh, I really love that. So I'm really excited to see what the bracelet looks like because these things look really awesome. So here we go. Here's the test. Now remember, this is the actual mold that I got from this brand, this Color Pour brand. And there's a little bit of leakage here. We could just peel that off. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. I've never made any resin like jewelry before. So I don't know, maybe if I like this, who knows? Maybe I'll get some other things. Alright. So I want to be, ooh, oh, there we go. I thought it had fused to the mold for a second. So again, I'm just going to do the same thing. Just going to gently peel away the corners, just that way I don't wreck the mold and I don't wreck the piece either. So do that to the outside, and then let's do that to the inside as well. Here we go. Not bad. This actually looks really cool. It has like a faceted thing. So because again I didn't mix super properly and this was such a small amount, this is slightly moldable. The fix to that is you just throw it in the oven for a few minutes and it will be fine. Like I could wear this and it would be okay. You know, like nothing crazy is gonna happen. It's very big. I mean, it has to be big to go over your hand. But I mean, I don't know, maybe I just have small wrist. That seems extra large. Like I can't really imagine myself wearing this out in public. Not just because the color or anything, because remember, I do like that it reminds me of Sully from Monsters Inc., but I'm just not a huge jewelry person. Yeah, so as you can see, this one you can squish just a smidgen. This, though, is rock solid, and that's because we have more of the resin mixture in here. I cannot bend this thing. But so the mold is actually really cool. You know, I should probably do, the next time I do it, do a bit of better job of leveling this out. But honestly, I think it looks really cool. So, I don't know, what do I think? Do you think this is going to be my new resin of choice? Honestly, probably not. Alright, well, as I said, this definitely is not going to be my new resin that I use for the projects here in the shop. You know, if you're making jewelry, this is totally perfect. You can do it. Me personally, I'm just going to keep using aluminite resin. It's just way easier to work with, a lot thinner, and it's not as hard to mess up the ratio, which honestly, you shouldn't mess up this ratio. I just wasn't paying attention because I was recording and just trying to do 100 things at once. If you pay attention, I'm sure this is super perfect. As we could tell, the coasters came out looking really great. So there's nothing wrong with this resin, honestly. It just all comes down to personal preference, right? Like, the bracelet does look cool. I'm just not a big jewelry person. So the one nice thing though, if I'm ever in a pinch, I can definitely just run to Joann's real quick, pick up some of this, and I'll be good to go, and my project won't be ruined because I ran out of resin. So in a pinch, for me personally, yeah, I'll go out and get this Color Pour Resin. You know, overall, it's a great resin. Like, we got great results from it, and the additives that we also got from this brand, from Color Pour, were really nice, and they look good. So it's, like I said, you know, personal preference. I do recommend that you get this if you're just jumping into resin and want something easy to start with to get going. Definitely check this brand out. It's really easy to use, and you can get really cool colors and glitters and everything. You know, if you want to go a step further, definitely pick up some of these mica powders off Amazon. They're really good, and they just kind of make things pop. Like, this just looks really cool to me. Kind of actually, you know what it reminds me of is hot chocolate. Really cool. But so that's my review of this product. Yes, I do recommend this Color Pour Resin for smaller projects like jewelry, you know, bracelets, coasters, just small scale items. If you're gonna do any kind of like casting, pendant casting, or just river tables or anything, definitely don't get this, because you're gonna end up wasting so much money just for the amount that you get for the price. I believe 8 ounces of each side was about 20 bucks. So it's not a terrible price, but yeah, so definitely go out, check it out, get some, and let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any other questions, check the comments down below. And if you feel like it, if you could subscribe to my channel, that would be really awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya.